Today we are jumping straight into at-will employment.
Right.
It's a concept that seems so foundational to U.S. labor law, but I think it's one of the most misunderstood.
It absolutely is. And our mission today isn't really to define the basics. I mean, you know the deal.
Either side can end it.
Exactly. Either party can terminate the relationship for almost any reason. Our focus is that word, almost.
That's where the important stuff is.
That's where it is. We're looking at where that flexibility ends and why assuming at will is a free pass is, well, probably the most expensive mistake an employer can make.
Okay, so let's unpack that. The default rule is you can be fired without a stated reason. So where are the legal tripwires? This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
It is. And what's fascinating is how often employers just stumble right into these traps.
Accidentally.
Totally accidentally. First off, you cannot terminate someone based on a protected category. That's the big one, anti-discrimination laws.
So we're talking race, sex, age, disability.
And religion, national origin, veteran status, you name it. If that factor even influenced the decision, the termination is illegal. It doesn't matter what the at-will default says.
And tied right into that is retaliation, right?
Oh, absolutely. You cannot fire someone for asserting a legal right.
For example, if they file a workplace safety complaint or
participate in an investigation or take protected medical leave, firing them right after that, that's a fast track to a lawsuit.
The source material we looked at from HRDelivered really highlighted a third risk, one that's more subtle.
Yes, and this is the one that trips up so many people. Contracts and promises.
You mean formal written contracts?
Sometimes, but more often, it's the accidental promises. A manager tells a longtime employee, "Don't you worry, you'll have a job here until you retire."
Just an offhand comment like that.
That one comment can potentially override all the carefully written at-will language in your handbook. It creates an implied promise.
That is a huge risk.
Right.
So what's the fourth and final limit?
Public policy. It's pretty straightforward, really. An employer cannot fire you for refusing to do something illegal for them.
Like falsifying documents or committing fraud.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those four exceptions, they're basically a protective perimeter around every at-will employee.
So when you connect this to the bigger picture, treating at will like it's your main strategy is just incredibly risky.
It's so costly. Not just the legal fees, but the inconsistency. A sloppy termination is almost impossible to defend in court, even if the reason was valid.
Because you have no proof.
You have no documentation, and besides that, arbitrary firings just destroy morale.
Okay, so this brings up a question for me. If the sources recommend all this strict documentation and performance management, aren't employers just undermining the flexibility that at-will is supposed to give them in the first place?
That is the perfect question. And the answer is no, because the documentation is your defense.
Ah, okay.
The safest approach is to treat at-will as a legal backdrop, not your guiding principle. You train your managers to document performance issues factually and consistently.
So the paper trail proves the decision was based on business needs.
And not on one of those illegal exceptions we just talked about.
So the true value is just understanding that every single termination, regardless of status, has to pass a basic compliance check.
Exactly. And that actually brings up a really important question for you, the listener, to think about.
There you go.
If your company handbook clearly states your at-will policy, does that actually give you better protection than just relying on the default state law? Especially when managers might be out there making accidental promises.
That's a great question to mull over. And navigating these limitations, training managers, it can be really challenging.
It's not easy.
So if you want more guidance on applying these ideas or assessing risks, getting professional expertise is really essential.
For sure. The source material from HRDelivered really makes it clear that their blog and services are there to provide that kind of support, to help you avoid managing these complex HR situations all alone.